Have you ever felt like your body wasn't a safe place to be? Like, no matter how much time has passed, there's still a part of you that flinches at unexpected touch, tightens when hearing certain sounds or smelling a distinct scent, or even struggles to fully exhale? You are not broken, and you're not alone. Welcome to Heal Her, Rise from Trauma and Grief, the sacred space where you release the past and reclaim your power. You've survived 100% of your worst days, and it's time to feel safe, feel whole, feel her, the healed version of you. I'm Ashley Morales, a certified grief counselor and holistic healing advocate. And today we're diving into one of the most crucial parts of healing from trauma, learning how to feel safe in your own body. This isn't about forcing yourself to move on or pretending the past didn't happen. It's about reconnecting gently with the part of you that deserves to feel at home within yourself. Because true healing isn't just emotional, it's physical, spiritual, and truly and deeply personal. By the end of this episode, you'll walk away with practical steps to begin rebuilding safety in your body, whether trauma happened years ago or still lingers just beneath the surface. So take a deep breath. You're safe here, sis. Your healing starts now. Hello. I'm so happy you are joining me for this topic. I am Ashley Morales, and we are going to jump right in. Trauma. Why does trauma disconnect us from our body? Well, trauma occurs, and it might make it feel like the body isn't a safe place to be. Now, when I say trauma, I want to clarify what that means. I'm talking about trauma with a capital T, such as car accidents, abuse of any kind, spiritual, sexual, emotional, physical, experiencing death of a loved one, or a natural disaster striking your home. Trauma that when you share it with others, it's blatantly obvious that that is a trauma. I'm also referring to trauma with a lowercase t, such as being told throughout childhood you aren't good enough, or not making a certain hour requirement for your volunteer service, or getting laughed at on the playground, moving away from friends even. All of these things we may push down and push through. And what happens in the body when we experience either capital T or lowercase t trauma? Well, there is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. What do those things look like? Well, fight may look like lashing out or becoming overly defensive. Flight may look like avoiding situations or people. Freeze may look like feeling paralyzed or unable to respond. Fawn, it looks like people pleasing or over apologizing. No matter what our response is, our nervous system does this so that it can adapt and protect us. However, in doing so, it can disconnect us from feeling fully present. If you've ever felt numb, hyper aware, or even like your body isn't yours, this is why. I'm going to take a moment now to just acknowledge the fact that there might be audio coming from the tree trimmers, and I apologize for that deeply. The show must go on. So let's talk about the gut-brain connection and how it affects how safe we feel. So there's science to back this up. Your gut and brain are in constant communication by means of the vagus nerve. This nerve runs on the right side of your body and connects to every single organ, and it communicates with all of them. Now, if we took the sum total of all those communications happening on any given day and just looked at 10 of those communications, did you know that 9 would be to and from the gut. Wow, not the heart, not lungs, liver, or kidney, the gut. If this doesn't show you how closely linked the gut and brain are, I'm not sure what does. It's like they're BFFs texting and checking in on each other all day long. So it's easy now to see why stress and trauma and fear trigger inflammation and gut imbalances, which can lead to chronic anxiety and that underlying sense of unease. It also tells us why we may get butterflies when we get a little nervous because of that communication. Healing our gut through intentional nutrition and holistic wellness isn't just about food. It's really about teaching your body that it's safe again. In the show notes, I'm going to drop a link, and it's going to be for a free guide to my 5-day anxiety busting, gut friendly smoothie recipes. It's a gift from me. So please reach out on social media if you use any of those recipes and tag me on Instagram. I am at Organic Mental Health Journey. I love seeing each of your journeys. So, what are some practical tools to rebuild safety in our body? Well, one I will always recommend is breathwork and grounding. Simple breathwork techniques like exhaling longer than we inhale signal safety to your nervous system. Placing your bare feet on the dirt, grass, or sand, or even if all you have is concrete that's at least on the foundation, this gives the body a way to connect to negative ions. Negative ions were created for us in such a beautiful way. The positive ions that accumulate in our body, those come from use of electronic devices, which we know are necessary in this world we live in, pollution, and really so many other sources. When we have high levels of positive ions, this can potentially lead to negative effects like fatigue, irritability, decreased concentration, headaches, mood swings, anxiety, and a general feeling of discomfort. So you can see why this is not helping us feel safe in our bodies. Guess what negative ions do? They come in from being near moving water, rivers, lakes, and the ocean, and also from the ground when we put our bare feet on it. And they attach themselves to the positive ions in our body and remove them from the body and actually deposit them into the earth. How cool is that? I mean, it's so amazing. I mean, this balance of getting those positive ions out of our system and filling our body with negative ions, which create this feeling of, well, being near the ocean. Who doesn't love that? The next tool I want to talk about is somatic healing. Small daily movements to reconnect with your body in a way that feels safe, such as gentle rocking motions and rhythmic tapping, which regulate the nervous system by mimicking self-soothing behaviors from infancy. Even stretching can open up your chest cavity, where, of course, our figurative heart resides. And this shows your body it's okay to feel open and still feel safe. Another tool is essential oils and herbal support. These are natural ways to calm the nervous system and rewire the brain-body connection. These are simple things we can use from the earth that our amazing creator gives us. So for essential oils, how do they support our body? We can use it in a couple of different ways. There's inhalation or diffusing. And when we do, essential oil molecules that are inhaled reach the olfactory receptors in the nose. These receptors send signals to the brain, particularly to the limbic system, which is responsible for emotions, memory, and stress regulation. Another way to use essential oils is skin absorption, When applied topically, essential oil molecules can penetrate the skin and enter the bloodstream. They can then travel to various organs and tissues where they may exert their effects. What effects are those? Well, when used properly, there are physiological effects. Some essential oils have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, or antioxidant properties. These properties can help fight infections, reduce inflammation, and protect cells from damage. Also, there are psychological effects. Essential oils can also influence mood and behavior. For example, a well-known oil is lavender, and it's known for its calming and relaxing effects, while peppermint oil can be invigorating and stimulating. Now, when it comes to herbs and herbal use, be sure to work with a practitioner or a clinician. However, it is notable that herbs work because they contain naturally occurring chemical compounds called phytochemicals, which can interact with the body when consumed, potentially providing health benefits depending on the herb and its specific properties. These compounds can have, again, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, or other therapeutic effects depending on the herb used. Why is anti-inflammatory so important? Well, many of us have inflamed guts, and when we can calm that down, that communication between brain and gut is much more pleasant. I'm going to take a quick moment to acknowledge the fact that you may be hearing my children, and it's bringing me so much joy to be listening to them playing around with their dad out there. So I just wanted to say you may hear them, and this is my life. One last tool I want to leave you with is affirmative touch. This is reintroducing safe, loving touch to remind your body it's no longer in danger, such as placing a hand over your heart and the other hand on your belly and taking slow, deep breaths to reinforce a sense of security. You could also do a frontal and occipital hold on your head, which means you would place one hand across your forehead and the other one would cradle the back of your head, and you just apply super gentle pressure. So you might be thinking, does this really work? Well, let me share the story of, let's call her Maya for privacy reasons, a woman who came to me feeling completely detached from her body. She had survived childhood trauma and done years of therapy, and she still couldn't shake the feelings of unease, like she was watching life from the outside rather than living it. She struggled with feelings of panic when people stood too close, had difficulty being intimate in relationships, and felt constantly on edge. Through trauma and grief recovery work with me, gut healing, breathwork, somatic practices, Maya slowly started to reclaim her body. She went from avoiding mirrors to being able to look at herself with kindness. She found small ways to move without fear, even dancing in her own house for the first time in years. And she sent me this message: "For the first time in my life, I feel like my body is mine again." This transformation is absolutely possible for you too. Remember, healing isn't overnight. However, every small step counts. And most importantly, the next correct step matters. So let's recap what we covered today. Trauma disconnects you from your body as a survival response. It's our job to reconnect. Your gut and brain are deeply linked to your sense of safety. Healing your body takes a holistic approach from all angles: breath work, movement, nutrition, and validation and affirming your right to take up space. Small, consistent steps will help rebuild trust between you and your body. Healing is a journey, and you are worthy of every moment of it. If this episode spoke to you, here's how you can stay connected. Like and subscribe to Heal Her so you never miss an episode. Share this with a sister or a friend who needs to hear this message. And fill out my form for a free consultation. Let's talk about your healing journey. You'll find that form in the show notes below. Join my email list for updates, holistic healing tips, and exclusive intensive sessions that I hold every so often throughout the year. Your healing is sacred, and I'm honored to walk this path with you. Until next time, take a deep breath. You're safe, you're seen, and you are healing.